Are you in the mood for something spooky? Because I am. Today, we are reacting to 4 disturbing true scary stories animated, but I think we're only going to get to about 3 today because it's a bit of a longer video. This is by, these animations, are by Wancy Entertainment, and this is part of a series that we're doing called Scary Animated Stories. This is part 6, so welcome if you're new. Let's get into it.
My name is AK. I've always wanted to share my story here, but nothing truly scary ever happened to me until a few days ago. It was during my university break. I'd come home to rest for a week. The first 4 days were fine, but on the 5th day, I heard whispering. It wasn't a hallucination. It was clear, real, right there. But I ignored it, told myself it was just the horror movie I'd watched earlier. Then came the 6th day. I have a little routine. I usually sleep in the large bedroom I share with my aunt, mom, and grandma. Then at 6:30 a.m., I move into my grandpa's room. He was always awake by then, out on the terrace getting fresh air. And his room is much cooler, easier to sleep in. But this time, I woke up at 3 a.m. I was half asleep, eyes closed, pillow and bedsheet in my arms. I didn't think twice. I knew the house well enough to walk with my eyes shut. I opened the door to my grandpa's room, and when I opened my eyes...
Never go into your grandpa's room unattended. Bro might be changing his diaper or something in there. You don't want to see any of that. Yeah, and if it's 3 a.m., go back to bed. Go back to bed. What are you doing? Anyways,
My heart stopped. Grandpa was sitting upright on the bed, just staring at me. Cold, empty eyes. I froze. Then I snapped out of it, realizing it was still the middle of the night. I forced a smile. "I'm sorry, Grandpa." He just grinned at me. I shut the door quickly and turned to run back.
Are we sure Grandpa's not, like, missing some of his medication? That might be a possibility.
That's when I heard it, his laugh. I stopped in my tracks. The sound was so strange, so wrong. I opened the door just a crack, and he was already there, looking straight at me through the gap, still laughing. Fear washed over me. I ran back to Grandma's room, but when I opened the door, my aunt, my mother, and my grandmother were sitting there, all 3 staring at me. Then my mother started laughing, and my grandmother joined, and then my aunt. The sound was deafening, wrong, twisted. I stood frozen as they laughed harder and harder, until suddenly, without realizing it, I started laughing too. It hurt, my side ached, I couldn't breathe. I fell to my knees, clutching my stomach, gasping for air, still laughing. The laughter wouldn't stop, and
Bro, I'm out of there. Honestly, I'm just gone, bro. My family's crazy. I'm gone.
then everything went black. When I opened my eyes, I was in the hospital. My family gathered around me. My mother burst into tears the moment she saw me awake. She kissed my forehead over and over, whispering that the prayers had worked. I asked her what had happened. She told me, that morning I stood up out of bed. My body arched backwards, my hands clawed through the air. I was on my tiptoes, my mouth wide open, and tears pouring down my face. And then I collapsed. As the doctor called my mother away, my grandmother and aunt followed her. And suddenly, it was just me and my grandpa. He leaned down, gave me the warmest smile he'd ever given me, and whispered, "Did you laugh your heart out, little darling?"
What on earth was that about? Is the grandpa some, like, demon? Is that what was happening? I don't know. Let's get into True Hospital Horror Story. That one was freaky, to say the least.
My grandma is the kindest person I know, and I wanted to share a few stories she told me. We're from England. She used to be a nurse, so of course she's seen quite a few dead bodies. She once mentioned how awful some of the victims of gang violence were in London. Car crashes, though, she said they were sometimes even worse. She was a very tough woman. There was always one strange thing about her house. She said her dog refused to go upstairs because of one particular room. That room always felt cold. We found out why from a neighbor who casually mentioned that a woman had died in that very room years ago. My grandma always had weird things happening around her. One night, my grandma was working late at the hospital with a few doctors. She was alone in one of the wings when she heard the sound of a cane tapping slowly down the hallway. She didn't think much of it at first. There had been an elderly woman staying there for a long time who always banged her cane when she walked. But then she remembered something.
She's dead.
That woman had passed away earlier that week.
I called it, bro.
The sound
I called it. What'd I
continued.
say?
Tap, tap, tap. She turned the hallway lights on. Nothing. No one was there. At first, she told herself it must have been the pipes, or maybe the old building settling. But the same sound came back the next few nights. Always at the same time. Always the same steady tapping. Eventually, she came to believe that the woman's spirit was still walking the halls of the hospital. But here's the story that I could never get over. The day my mom was born, my Nana brought her to the hospital to show her coworkers the baby. When she arrived, one of the doctors waved her over and offered us parking spot right next to the entrance. She was grateful. It saved her a walk with a newborn in her arms. She parked and went inside. Just moments later, she heard a loud, sickening thud from outside, followed by screaming. She ran out, and what she saw chilled her. A man had fallen from one of the hospital's upper floor windows. He landed directly on the car parked where she usually would have parked. It was the car of the doctor who gave her his spot. If she had parked in her usual place, in her tiny Mini Cooper, the damage would have been horrific, fatal. If my mom had been in the back seat, she likely wouldn't have survived. Later, she asked what had happened. The man who jumped hadn't shown any signs of distress. He had coffee that morning.
Jeez. That's crazy. Nah, I'd probably get a new job. Honestly, if I heard the spirits of an old lady just walking around the hallways, like, I'm out of there. I don't know. Don't know about you guys, but I'm out of there.
Morning, chatted with nurses, and seemed completely normal.
How did he survive that? Realistically, you're not surviving. Did you see that fall? You're not surviving.
Then, without warning, he ran toward a window, shattered the glass. My Nana still talks about how lucky she was that day.
Oh, that wasn't really scary, I'd say. What was that? So next we got True Storage Room Horror Story. Let's see.
My name is Nateen and I live in India. This happened to me in the summer of 2013. It was the month of June, during school holidays, and I was staying at my grandmother's house in the village. The house had 3 floors. I was there with my parents and both of my brothers. My dad comes from a large family. He has 6 sisters. There was one room on the ground floor we called the storage room. It was usually kept locked. Inside were large soil-lined tankers used to store rice. One night, I woke up and decided to go downstairs from the second floor.
Is there going to be like a body in the rice? Do you think like in the container for the rice, and there's going to be like a body? From my experience with scary animated stories, I'm going to say there's going to be a body in there.
From the hallway,
That's my
I
guess.
noticed that the storage room door was wide open. A dim light was glowing from inside. Curious, I walked in. That's when the strong smell of kerosene hit me. It was overwhelming. I started to feel lightheaded immediately. And then, as I looked up, I saw it, a burning figure, human-shaped, crawling toward me. It looked like it was burning, like it was on fire, but not screaming, just...
What on earth? What would you do if you went to your basement, like, cellar, and there's someone, like, on fire, walking, like, crawling towards you? Just like, oh, you good? Like, do you get the fire extinguisher? Do you, like, why are you in my house? Why are you on fire? What's going on? Like, do you question it, or do you just straight get the fire extinguisher, or do you just lock her in the basement and hope for the best? Like, what are you doing?
to
What are you doing in
dragging
this
itself
situation?
across the ground, flames flickering off its body. I froze for a second, then I screamed and bolted upstairs. Right at that moment, I heard something crash behind me. It made a loud noise, and suddenly, everything went black. Then, the electricity came back on. I turned back to look again. The storage room was just as it had always been. No fire, no smoke, nothing out of place. I told no one. I tried to forget what happened, and I did for a long time. Until March of 2023, when
I think that's called a carbon monoxide leak. I think you need to get carbon monoxide CO2 detectors. That's what you need. CO2 detectors for your basement. Every room I'm pretty sure should have one, or every like floor should have at least one. This guy obviously didn't have them. So when he was breathing in those fumes, he started seeing things. And for some reason, the thing that he started seeing was a random lady crawling on his floor, caught on fire. For some strange reason, that's what he wanted to see. That's what he saw. Yeah, no, get CO2 detectors, kids. Come on.
my mother told me something strange. She said that back in March of 2013, 10 years ago, one of my dad's younger sisters had died in that very room. It was late at night and the electricity had gone out. She was sweeping the floor by the light of a small oil lamp, and something knocked the lamp over. It shattered and kerosene splashed across her. She caught fire instantly. She screamed and struggled until she passed out, still burning. By the time she got to the hospital, it was too late. That's when everything clicked. The smell, the fire, the shape crawling toward me. Had I seen her spirit that night? Why did I see her? Why me? What was she trying to tell me? Even now, I don't have answers, just the memory of that moment and the feeling that something or someone was trying to reach out from the past.
The little steam, bro. Come on. Come on now. Oh my goodness. I don't know about that one. I'm not really feeling quite spooked from these yet. So still, if you have recommendations for scary animated stories, let me know in the comments. Yeah, that was 4 true horror stories, again, by Wanty Entertainment. Credit to them. Yeah, we only watched 3 this time though, because I want to stay lower on the lower end of the time for these. So yeah, thanks for watching. That was episode 6. Stay tuned for episode 7 coming out soon. Yeah, thanks for watching.